What's good, Commanders fans? We're gonna do 5 standouts from minicamp. You know, I always do the 5 standouts video after every OTA or after every minicamp. And I just want to say before the weekend starts, so I probably will not be making a video before my birthday on Tuesday coming up. And I just want to say Happy Father's Day to all the good dads out there, all the dads doing your thing. Of course, you guys already know I'm a dad, so I just want to shout out all the fathers. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Happy early Father's Day to you guys. Because I probably won't be making another. I most likely won't be making another unless we sign somebody. I know the Eagles just signed Jaquiski Tart, and Eagles fans are going crazy over that. So it is what it is. Ron Rivera got fined $100,000. So the fines, you know, both coaches get fined some way somehow because of the physical activity that happened at practice. The Dallas Cowboys got fined, and then Lovie Smith from the Bears or the Texans head coach, he got fined as well. So. I think it's, and they took away 2 OTA practices, which is ridiculous for next year. And who knows if Ron Rivera is here next year, to be honest. So it's terrible for Ron, and it's terrible for if Ron's not here, if he's let go or fired. It's tough for the whoever's going to be here is just tough for. Jack Del Rio said OTA practices are the reason why they did not the secondary didn't do well. So they are important. They are important. So it's tough that they lose. I think that it's a pretty egregious that they took away 2 practices. And everybody's talking about the Jeremy Reeves hit. That was, that he made that hit and Ron Rivera was pissed off and he cursed him out. It probably was that hit. It probably was. It probably was the hit that did it. That definitely moved them past the needle, and the NFL stepped in and fined him. So it's ridiculous in my opinion. It really is. But Jeremy Reeves has to be smart. I'm not gonna just blame it on him, but they just got to be smart on that. So 5 standouts. I always usually name like 9 or 10 guys, even though I always say 5. But I'm trying to say some low key guys, not the big name guys like Montez Sweat and Antonio Gibson and Carson Wentz. I'm gonna say some low key guys here, real quick. But somebody that I heard that really stood out and was a winner this week was Mark and Michelle, man. Mark and Michelle, the brother of Sony Michelle, man. He had a really good OTA. He had a really good mini camp this week. This is from David Harrison. He said, quarterback Taylor Heinicke had a beautiful touchdown pass during the final day of OTA practice last week. Mark Michelle was the receiver of that pass and had gotten behind 2 Washington defenders on his way to the end zone. Since then, all Michelle has done is impress. On Wednesday, he caught another deep ball touchdown from Heinicke and showed great poise as this one was thrown a little late, so he had to play back to the ball a bit. So he said during his release on the big play, Michelle put a nasty move on veteran cornerback Corn Elder to blow right by him on his way to the big play. So Mark Michelle, man, he's been turning heads. He's been doing his thing out there. Will he make the roster? Who knows? Can he make the practice squad? Definitely, for sure. He should definitely make the practice squad. So we're probably going to keep 6 receivers. So I definitely think he can make the practice squad for sure. And he's fast, he's speedy, man. Like I said before, played in the USFL, the AAFL, man. He's got some jets and some burners to him. Did play on the Eagles practice and preseason squad as well. So Mark and Michelle, man, look out for him, man. He provides some depth there. So I like what I'm hearing from Mark and Michelle. I want to see what he can do in preseason for sure. Next guy on the list is Derek Forrest. Derek Forrest had a really good preseason this year. He had a really good OTA here. This OTA or minicamp. He said this is from David Harrison as well. He said David Harrison, if the season started today, I think safety Derek Forrest is your Buffalo nickel. He did have a pick 6 on Cole Kelly. That's when Matt Paris said Cole Kelly did the what's his name? Steven Montez special there throwing a pick 6. So Derek Forrest, man, he's had a really good training camp. And John Keim said he plays with abandon, not reckless abandon, but abandon. He said he would play better, most likely, with pads on. He's a guy that's looking to hit. He's a special teams ace guy. He's really physical, and he's expected to get a lot of snaps this year. Had an injury, didn't play much last year, so he's looking to maybe he can be a breakout guy and then take a second-year leap here. So. And David Harrison, he was getting reps with the first team. Forrest has looked very comfortable playing alongside Bobby McCain and Cameron Curl. He's not the only guy getting looks there, though. And Coach Ron Rivera mentioned undrafted safety Farrard Gardner as well. Another guy on the list is Benst Juice, man. He's just been playing really good. He's the only guy that has been able to stick with Jahan Dodson. And we're looking for him to play that slot position. He's more known as an outside guy, but he's playing in that nickel position. We don't have a lot of depth there. We do have Danny Johnson. We do have Bobby McCain. But St. Juice, he is 6'2", long arms, a lot of length there, a long wingspan, very physical corner. And him sticking with Jahan Dodson. Logan Paulson said he's had quick feet in minicamp, and he's coming back from the concussion. So I'm expecting a second-year leap from Benst Juice as well. So he's looking around. Jack Del Rio said he's been very impressive all minicamp and OTs. He's had a really good offseason. So that's what Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio had to say about Benst Juice. Another guy is Percy Butler, man. He had an interception on Taylor Heineke as well. David Harrison said Percy Butler is looking like a steal at the end of the NFL draft. Rivera said he really hoped to get solid contributions out of every pick from the first to fourth rounds. Percy Butler has been playing really well. Ron Rivera said Percy Butler has really come in and flashed and shown us that he has got a terrific skill set. Ron Rivera is very pleased with that. He's a guy that can play Buffalo nickel as well. You know, there's a lot of guys that they can throw in there. Defensive back Chris Harris, who's really hyped up, has a lot of energy. He said he's been thrilled with Percy Butler. The thing that's most intriguing about Percy is he's a very cerebral player, so he picked up the defense really fast. So he had that diving interception on Taylor Heineke. That was a big play by Percy Butler. Jahan Dodson, don't have to say too much about him. He's just been electric. That's what Zach Selby said. Dan Helly, another beat reporter, just a national beat reporter. Him and Carson Wentz, they have really good rapport. You see the hands, the catch radius. He's 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", plays like he's 6'5". He can go up and get it. He's been cooking guys. William Jackson hasn't been able to stay in front of him. Kendall Fuller has not been able to stay in front of him. So he's looking as good as advertised, man. A lot of people didn't like the pick at pick 16. They thought it was a reach. But I was like, man, this guy can play, man. He's shifty. He can run all routes. He can play all positions. He can play the slot. He can play outside. He can do a lot of things, and he can punt return too. So I'm excited to see what he can do. Him and Terry McLaurin. If we get Terry back sooner than later, I would love to see these guys get some chemistry with Carson Wentz in training camp, of course. So I'm excited for Jahan Dodson, man. He's a guy that can take the top off of defense. And stretch the defense, and he can be Terry's best sidekick. Him and Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel together, that's a scary trio right there. That's why I'm starting to believe in this offense if Carson Wentz can play up to par and expectations. Another guy is AGG, man. AGG, he's transitioned to tight end. He had that one-handed catch. Zach Selby said he had the nice catch over Cameron Curl. So he basically mauls Cameron Curl and big boyed him. He's been playing really well at tight end. Ron Rivera talked about AGG being a good blocker as well. Will he make the roster? Who knows? But with Logan Thomas out, he has a chance. Curtis Hodges was out with a groin injury as well. So he has some chances to definitely make the roster there for sure. So other guys real quick. Alex Erickson had a good camp as well. Matt Parris said he was all over the place making catches. So I like that as well with Alex. I always call him the DeAndre Carter replacement. And he can be a good punt returner, kick returner, and maybe the Adam Humphries replacement as well. Jeremy Reeves is another guy that had a good camp as well. He's been breaking up a lot of passes. Other than when he did get in trouble for hitting somebody, this is P. Haley. He said Jeremy Reeves was all over the place in the secondary, and at one point, someone from the sidelines yelled that he is the PBU king, referring to his penchant for pass breakups. Reeves, he just had a really good camp. So will he make the roster? He was on the practice squad the last couple of years and was able to play a couple times. Had played in the playoff game, had a good game against the Eagles when we made the playoffs. The game where we beat Jalen Hurts, where he sat out. Jeremy Reeves got an interception in that game. The Dallas game where we beat him on Thanksgiving, Jeremy Reeves played really well too. So he's contributed to some wins here and there in his career with the Washington Commanders for sure. So yeah, that's about it. Percy Butler, Mark and Michelle, Alex Erickson, Benst Juice, Jeremy Reeves, Jahan Dodson, AGG. Those were some winners right there. And Chris Paul, the guard, who we picked in the 7th round, had a good camp as well, being the second string tackle. And then last thing I'll say about Curtis Samuel, man, I'm gonna ease up on Curtis. I'm going to just see how things go. I'm not going to say anything negative about Curtis Samuel anymore. We'll just see how it plays out. We just got to see it through and how it goes. So I'm not going to be too negative about him. I'm just going to sit back and see if he plays. If he plays, that's great. It's a luxury to have another good wide receiver out there. So that's all I'm going to say. But once again, I just want to say happy Father's Day to all the good dads out there doing your thing. Hope you guys have a good 3-day weekend and happy Juneteenth as well. Hail to the Commanders. Peace.